Hi, my name is Patrick Desjardins. In this video, you will learn what are the primitive types in TypeScript and how they are similar and different from JavaScript. In this episode, we will create all primitives without getting into the detail of each yet. We will explore the result in JavaScript in terms of the translation from TypeScript to JavaScript and in the perspective of checking the type at runtime from the type declared at design time. First off, let's declare each primitive and initialize them with a value. We will use the declarator const because we will not change their value. We could have used let in that particular video. After declaring and initializing, we will print the value of the type that JavaScript understands and see which one has discrepancies with TypeScript. The type is extracted with the operator type of that returns a string. The string is the name of the variable type. Type of is an operator that JavaScript can use, hence not a specific TypeScript operator. TypeScript, being a superset of JavaScript, borrows the same syntax to get the type from a primitive. It is important to understand that in this episode, we will gently touch primitives without getting into details. Please subscribe and like this video to let the YouTube algorithm promote further videos to your feed. The first variable's type is a number. The variable is initialized with the value 100. Because TypeScript and JavaScript share the same primitives, it is expected that the return type be a number when dynamically checked at execution time. Using type of operator, we see that the type return is a number, as expected. The second variable is a string. Similar to the type number, the expectation is to have JavaScript figure out the type to be a string. A small remark here, the string can contain a single character, or they can have no character or many character. There's no difference between a single character or many. Also, if you are coming from a different language and see the single quote or double quote, they are both the same in TypeScript. Single quote or double quote, the syntax is valid. The return type of with type of is also a string, so far nothing out of the ordinary with string. The third variable is of type Boolean. Also, the relationship is direct in TypeScript to TypeScript with a type Boolean. Again, the type of returns the same value, Boolean. The fourth variable is of type array. TypeScript allows specifying the type for the array. In this example, the type is an array of numbers. In TypeScript, the array type exists, but not the array of a specific type. Hence, we can foresee that the output will be something different when using type of. In a few episodes, we will see the isArray function that works in JavaScript and TypeScript. But for the moment, the array type is object. The fifth variable is null, and is an interesting one that we will have a few future discussions with it. As we can see, null appears to have the value of null at runtime, and it returns an object similar to the array when using type of. Undefined returns undefined and is of type undefined. No surprise here, but stay tuned to understand the difference between a variable null and undefined. The following variable looks like an array, but has a specific size and specific types on each position. Hence, not an array, but a type called a tuple. Without going into too much specific, the result is also unexpected, but similar to the array. The similitude with the array does not end at the syntax, but also at the runtime type, with a type found to be an object. The symbol acts like most primitives and has the same type at runtime in JavaScript than in TypeScript. The primitive symbol arrived in 2015, hence to be transpiled required to target the at least ECMAScript 2015 in the TS.json file. The void returns a value of undefined and a type of undefined. And finally, the type unknown set to 1, 2, 3 returns a type of number, which makes more sense than the void of undefined. We will look at the initialization of void and set it to the value undefined. It will return undefined. So when we can understand that a function that returns nothing, return void, it's actually returning undefined. And that setting undefined directly to void is also set the value to undefined. In all cases, the void value is set to undefined and the type is undefined as well, not void. Lastly, a big int is available, which returns the type big int from the operator type of. TypeScript requires to target ECMAScript 2020 or ECMAScript Next to interpret the primitive big int. This video intention is not to shed clarity on each primitive, but to highlight that JavaScript and TypeScript have common ground and some discrepancies. So here we are again. We are at a fork where you need to make a decision. Make sure to check the description to see which path is the right one for you. See you soon.